Hey, it's Dustin with the Davidson Group here with a market update. We've got our June 4th coming at you, and today we're going to be talking about a subdivision. That subdivision, Cedar Ridge. So we're looking at southern Joplin, actually southwestern Joplin off of 32nd Street. You guys can see that here. This subdivision is a very, very active subdivision, and so we're going to talk about the numbers over the past 12 months, the activity that we've had, where we're at currently, and then if I'm talking to you today and you live in Cedar Ridge, maybe we should have a conversation about you making a transition because it is in dire need of more listings. So jumping in, as we look at Cedar Ridge, it is one of those that is a desirable neighborhood to be in simply because it's in South Joplin. It's not far from amenities, but it's in Carl Junction schools, so it makes it a desirable place to be. The subdivision allots for over 400 homes. Don't have the exact number, but I know we're over 400 there. And in the last 12 months, we have under contract, sold, expired, and of course active 57 homes. Of those 57 homes, 46 have sold in the last 12 months, 10 are under contract as of shooting this today, and only one has expired. I didn't forget the actives, we just don't have any. So there are 0 active properties in the neighborhood. So the demand is high. If we look at the sell-through rate and the list price versus sales price for the last 3 months, we're at 101%, meaning that if you list your home, you're going to sell it for 101% of that list price, which means it's a 1% above the list price. The average days on market's a little high. Being that it's such a desirable neighborhood, you would think that the days on market would actually be lower, but we're sitting at 176. It's because we have some properties that are new construction and they're going to sit active on the market, whether that be active or pending, for that allotted time to ensure that we get through construction. So if we were looking at just resale data, those numbers would change, but we're looking at the overall subdivision and really diving into what that is. Price point is another question. So what's your cost of entry to get into this neighborhood? Well, the average price tips over just $200,000. So that's a little above our average of that 150-ish range, but it's well below some of those higher end properties that you would be near, like a Sunset Ridge and like an Arbor Hills, that you're going to tip into the mid 4s, 5s and on up into the $1 million range. So you're in that area. Just down the road, you've got Wildwood Ranch as well, which is a newer subdivision being built out as we speak. And those homes are going to be similar as far as size and variety. Some 140, 50, 60 range on up into the mid 2s, even some dipping into the 3s. So we've got an interesting neighborhood here because of those pieces. Really, the interesting thing to me is in 12 months worth of activity, you would expect to see something on the market of a subdivision that has over 400 homes. We don't have a single thing as I speak to you today. Also interesting to me is you would expect some properties to either be withdrawn from the market or expired from the market, meaning that they entered the market and for whatever reason they didn't sell. Typically it's because of a lack of availability, not a lack of availability, but a lack of market exposure by way of amenity, by way of update, and of course by way of price. We only have one of the 57 homes that are there. 46 have sold and 10 are under contract. It's a thriving neighborhood. People are wanting to get into that neighborhood. I know specifically last year around this time, I listed a home in Cedar Ridge. It took a minute for it to actually go under contract because of the other homes that were going. I think we had 2 or 3 on the street that it was listed on go around the same time. But we ended up selling. We ended up actually selling for exactly what we listed it for, so 100% list to sell price. Helped the family transition, got a family in there. It was a good transition for everybody. But again, there were active properties in the market. If you were in that subdivision and you were looking to make a transition today, reach out. Let's have a conversation and let's build a strategy behind when we enter the market, what that looks like as far as an exit strategy, and then where you're going to go on the backside of it. Because right now, I can tell you assuredly it's going to sell as long as you are marketing yourself within reason. Again, 101% of list to sell price, meaning that we're getting over asking price offers on an average right now. Now, not tremendously, right? It's not 120%, so you're not expecting a fifth more or anything. Anyways, this is that local piece we were talking about. Next week, we're going to talk about the local area. So we're going to talk about Southwest Missouri. But today, we're talking about that subdivision. I think it's an interesting find. Hey, what subdivision do you live in? Do you live in a subdivision? Do you want to know the statistics around it and what the activity looks like, and to be discussed in this video? I'm happy to either have those one-off conversations that we can have privately, or if you'd like me to talk about it, drop a comment down below, shoot me a message. I would be happy to cover it in a month from now on our next local segment revolving around a subdivision or neighborhood. Hope this finds you well. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and until I see you again, have a good day.